Good afternoon. I would like to call Government Operations Committee to order. Madam Clerk, if you could please take roll. We're also going to use our tablets.
Commissioner Wilson,
Present.
Commissioner Kniezek, Commissioner Clark Coleman, Commissioner Killeen,
Here.
Chair Clemente,
Here,
you have a quorum present.
thank you. Next item, please.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
C, approval of the January 15th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. I see approval from, or motion from Commissioner Clean and second from Commissioner Wilson. Please vote on your tablets.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, if we could move to new business, item number 1, please.
Item 1 under new business, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a 5-year legal services agreement with Miller Canfield Paddock and Stone PLC and the Criminal Justice Center Bond Counsel matter.
Okay, so this item is before us. There's no dollar amount added. It's just because it's longer than 5 years. Does anyone have any questions on this item, commissioners? Okay, if I get a motion, please. Motion from Commissioner Wilson and seconded by Commissioner Clark Coleman. Please vote on your tablets.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And Madam Clerk, we are going to take items 2 on our agenda and items 7 and 8 on the addenda together, please.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of modification 7 to a 7-year lease and license agreement with 2 2-year options to renew, 2 5-year options to renew with NTT Managed Services Americas LLC, DBA Secure 24 LLC to continue leasing space for the Wayne County Data Center.
Okay, commissioners, does anyone have any questions on item 7 about the data center? It's in, actually it's in, no, it's actually in North Plymouth. I had it, yes, I had it in my notes here. Yeah. That's like saying everywhere's Detroit. No. So Plymouth Township is in Wayne County. Oh, gotcha. All right. Any questions? Okay. All right. Do you have anything to add?
Hector Roman, Director of Information Technology. No, I just wanted to say.
Next item, please.
Moving to item 7 on the addenda. Requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 3-year contract with 2 1-year options to renew with Trace 3 LLC for Cisco Talos Incident Response Subscription and Services.
Okay, and this is about the incident support for responses with Trace 3. Does anyone have any questions on this item? Okay, very good. If we could please move to number 8.
Moving to number 8, forwarding notification of an emergency procurement report for a contract with Dell Marketing for 60 contiguous business hours of incident response and recovery services.
So this is a receive and file item, but I would like IT to please introduce themselves, and then if you could give us some background on what has happened with this item, please.
Sure. Hector Roman, Director of Information Technology. This is a receive and file. This was emergency services that were procured back in October of 2024. Due to our cyber incident, we engaged in Dell response team to help us with mediation recovery efforts, and they did a great job assisting us through our recovery phase.
This is the company that they are using for help
Correct. I
with
just
all
want
of
to
that
clarify.
recovery of things.
Yes. Item number 7 is an incident response team who helped us, directed us, guided us through the entire phase. And then number 8 was actually engineers assisting us doing the work of recovery.
Okay, thank you.
His voice dropped at the end.
Can you speak up a little bit,
Yeah,
please?
sure.
And just say, number 7 was.
Number 7 is incident response team.
Mhm.
And they're actually the largest incident response team in the world. And we had them on retainer for several years just for incidents like this. And within, I think, was it 20 minutes when we called them that morning, they had a team assigned to us and walked us through the entire steps. Number 8 was contracts for engineers to actually help us with mediation and recovery.
Okay. We do have a question from Commissioner Clean.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, my question is for Commission Council. Commission Council, can you review for us what constitutes these emergency procurements that come from time to time? I just want to go over the ground rules one more time. And also what verification we receive to say, yeah, it's an emergency procurement.
Through the chair to this honorable body, so under the procurement ordinance, the administration is allowed to enter into a contract on an emergency basis for health, safety, and welfare reasons, if it involves like a loss of life or injury or property, emergency repair of like a road. Let's say there was a big sinkhole in the middle of a road that could cause, major damage or harm, or things of that nature. So they're authorized to do that. Natural disasters, they could be authorized to do an emergency procurement. That emergency procurement should only be to address that emergency. And then they should be working towards a contract if it's a long-term issue. The ordinance requires that they submit that emergency procurement, the rationale for it, to this body within 60 days after they've actually initiated it.
Okay, thank you. And all of that has been submitted, Council?
Yes. To my understanding, yes.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions? Okay, if I could please get a motion to receive and file number 8 and approve items 2 and 7. And I have a motion from Commissioner Clean and seconded by Commissioner Wilson. If everyone would please vote on your tablet on these items.
Do that.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Okay, now, Madam Clerk, if we could move back to items 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of a memorandum of agreement modifying Article 36.05I of a collective bargaining agreement with ASME Michigan, Wayne County Law Enforcement Supervisory Local 3317, AFL-CIO, that will allow bargaining unit members to participate in a defined contribution plan for a loan program.
Are there any questions on this? And if you would please come up to the table, because we have a lot of MOAs and CBA things going on here in all these items. So if you could just start with number 3, please, and just fill us all in what's happening. Yeah, you need to turn your microphone on and introduce yourself, please.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. My name is Gwen DeYoung, Director of Labor Relations.
Thank you.
Apologize. Excuse me.
Donna Wilson, PHR Director.
Thank you. Okay, so this is for ASME law enforcement to be able to participate in defined contribution plans, loan programs.
Yes.
So what exactly does that mean?
Most of the CBAs have language referring to the DC Plan 4 program, and they allow loans, meaning the employee can loan or borrow, apply for loans against their portion of the employee contributions. And there were a number of members of 3317, they applied for hardship reasons. And the CBA, as it exists, currently does not allow for plan for loan programs. It's the only bargaining unit that does not allow for plan for loan.
So this was discovered and now we are trying to make sure that.
Rectify it.
Okay, very good. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Commissioner Clark Coleman?
So they can borrow on the funds that they have. Well, you said that they can borrow from the funds that they have contributed, or a total of of the county match, or is it just the money that they have contributed?
We do have Bruce Campbell here, who is familiar with the program. But
Okay.
the Plan Loan 4 program was approved by Wickers, and they have a policy as far as, for example, the amount of the loan, it cannot exceed 50% of the balance. And there are other requirements that all the other bargaining units, again, who do borrow, have followed, and they adhere to that policy.
And it has to be a hardship.
No,
Yes.
well, no.
And do they have to pay that money back?
Yes, it's a loan.
Okay.
And what I was going to add is that all of it is under the IRS regulations, so it's consistent with the IRS regulations.
Could you please introduce yourself and
Yes.
maybe press the,
Excuse me, sorry about that.
no problem.
My name is Bruce Campbell, and I'm an attorney in Corporation Counsel's office, and I do labor and employment. And they can borrow off of assets in which they are vested, which for most of these people, they've been with the county for more than 2 years. So that's essentially
Is that vested? 2
vested.
years?
Yeah, 2 years for Plan 4. There are limitations as to how much they can borrow. What happens is there's a principal amount borrowed, there is an interest rate applied to that, and then there's a repayment schedule for those loans with interest.
Oh,
And of course, what's happening is, for all intents and purposes, you're borrowing from yourself
yeah.
and you are paying the principal and interest back to yourself, which will then, of course, be reinvested according to how the participant has set up their investments. And there's, as far as I know, I don't believe that there is a hardship. I know some types of plans, deferred compensation, requires there to be a hardship. I don't believe the DC plan has that. So, and I reviewed the MOA, made some suggestions, also shared it with our outside tax employee benefits counsel and got some input from her. And so, we felt that, and it is consistent with other agreements we have with other unions.
Okay. So this is the supervisory local 3317.
Yes.
That's
of the
correct.
AFL, right? So, and you're saying that the other locals, the other bargaining units, they all allow this?
Yes.
Okay, and so, okay. I'm stuck here at defined contribution.
If I could explain,
Okay.
for people in Plan 4,
Mhm.
every pay period, there is a employer contribution of 10% that is put into a designated account over at the retirement system
Mhm.
for that individual. There's also an employee contribution of 4%, and those go into an employee's account, and the employee has the ability to direct that towards essentially mutual funds for investment.
Mhm.
And over time, that will get interest and appreciation. At the time of retirement, they will have a lump sum representing the aggregate contributions that they've made, the aggregate contributions that the employer's made, and any interest and appreciation on those investments.
Okay, so they get the 10% that's being put over to WIPSR, which is the retirement system, the 10%. and then they put in 4%.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and we have another question from Commissioner Clean, if you're done.
I'm done.
Okay, Commissioner Clean.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, we have 4 different collective bargaining agreements before us today. And those agreements were all approved in 2023 sometime during that year, as I'm looking at the dates. And since then, we've been doing these MOAs, and today we have 4 of them in front of us. Now, these CBAs don't expire, 3 of them don't expire till 27, 1 expires later this year. But my question is, because we got a lot of other locals too, is this going to be the strategy going forward now? That there'll be more MOAs before we actually get to a collective bargaining, let's say in 27, and begin discussing the entire agreement?
So, no, it is not necessarily a strategy, but what occurs is that there are new benefits, new opportunities that the unions and the employers say that we would like language before we renegotiate a full CBA. And if it alters the term of the CBA, we have to bring it in front of the commission. So, you know, a strategy or reality that, you know, that's what does occur.
So are we being approached by these different bargaining units saying, hey, we'd like to add this in and let's have some conversations? Or are those initiated by administration?
Both ways.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so if there's no other questions on number 3, let's move on to number 4, please.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of a memorandum of agreement modifying Article 15 of a collective bargaining agreement with ASME Michigan Local 25, Hearing and Vision Technicians Chapter, AFL-CIO, to add Veterans Day and Juneteenth/Freedom Day as holidays in 1 floating holiday per calendar year.
Okay, so this is just for our hearing and vision technicians from Local 25 and adding holidays. Any questions on that? Yes, go right ahead.
How many of these texts do we still have?
I'm gonna say
I thought it was
30.
single digits, like 4 or 5.
4, 3, 4. I remember the number.
That was the question. X 5? I mean, I'm sorry,
Looks like.
here. 16.
Yeah, oh,
16.
16? 16, she
16.
said.
16, 1 6.
1 6. 16.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought we were down to around 5 at one time.
Yes.
And again, just for these techs, they're going to schools, testing kids. What is the scope of their job?
So yes, they do go to schools, and you may have seen different initiatives from the county executive's office and HHVS director looking at increasing the hearing and vision testing of students. And so it is, again, an interest of the administration and the county exec to make sure that children are tested. And we all know early testing creates more opportunity and quicker resolution.
Absolutely. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, as a teacher, and you
Yeah,
know, they need to see and hear for sure.
Many of them don't know that they can't see and hear.
Yeah, and then they get a pair of glasses or a hearing aid and they're doing good. So 16, yeah,
With that. You're right.
Oh, yes, yeah, go right ahead.
I can hear my
Commissioner
voice
Clean.
anyway. Are we only working out county? Where are we working?
Unfortunately, I don't know all the school districts or systems, but I am sure that they are working every county in Wayne or every municipality in Wayne, every school system in
I would
Wayne.
imagine Detroit probably has their own though.
Right. Could be. And then we can always get you the details from what schools they're in and the
I
strategy
don't
from the
necessarily need the
department.
schools because they're available to all schools
Right.
in the county, regardless of where they're working today. But I was just wondering if we were working in Detroit at all.
Okay. We can definitely
Okay.
provide that to the commission.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Thank you,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair.
Great. If we can move on to number 5, please. Thank you.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of a memorandum of agreement modifying Article 26 of a collective bargaining agreement with the Dietitians and Nutritionists Association to add Veterans Day as a holiday and one floating holiday per calendar year.
So this is for our dietitians and nutritionists, the association. Adding holidays. Any questions on this? Okay, can we please move on to number 6?
Item 6, requesting commission approval of a memorandum of agreement modifying Article 26 of a collective bargaining agreement with the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 324, to add Veterans Day as a holiday and one floating holiday per calendar year.
So these are basically all the same.
All modifications to different unions for adding these benefits. Okay, any questions on number 6? If I could please get a motion for items 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have a motion from Commissioner Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Clark Coleman. All those in favor, please vote on your tablet.
Right, getting back in 27 times. Go back to where we started. Got me?
Yep. Thank
Motion
you.
carried.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Commissioners.
If we could please move to the next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Are there any emails at this time for public comment?
No emails were received.
Is there anyone on Zoom or telephone line for public comment? If you could please open that up. See anything?
No hands raised on Zoom.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make public comment? You have 2 minutes. Please step up to the table. Okay, public comment is now closed. If I could get a motion or next item, please.
Adjournment.
A motion for
So
adjournment,
moved.
please, and support. All those in favor?